he carries a gun, and he's prepared. But as long as this order of protection is in place, it is a layer of protection that every citizen should be able to get if they need it and keep in place for the extent of the order. The order is to expire in March of 2022, and that's what the plaintiff wants this court to do.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman.
Thank you, Your Honor. The law requires for the defendant to show a series of acts and that are harassing, alarming, or annoying, and for purposes of this step.
Actually, it's two specific acts, but go ahead.
It says it means either of the following, subsection S1A, a series of acts over any period of time that is directed at a specific person and that would cause a reasonable person to be seriously alarmed, annoyed, or harassed, and the conduct in fact seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, and serves no legitimate purpose. So we would submit to the court that, number one, the testimony that's been presented, or the evidence presented in this hearing today, is drastically different than it was portrayed in his petition. The following of that he was being followed by a defendant. In fact, he testified that she never followed him, that she appeared at his house one time, and that she appeared at town hall when he happened to be there. There was no evidence of being followed. He also wrote in his petition that his wife was being followed, and there's been zero evidence of that. We've discussed and dealt with that. Also that she was videoing him. There's been no evidence that she was videoing. In fact, there was photographs, which is her right to free speech in a public place. She is not surreptitiously recording him in a bathroom under a stall. She's not using these photographs for any inappropriate purpose. She's not doing it to harass him, alarm him, or annoy him. He is a public figure. She has testified, and it has been corroborated, that this is a course of action, that she routinely takes photographs to help not only support her memory, to check facts. She's a squeaky wheel. This is a political town. This court knows it. Everybody in this courtroom knows it. And people don't like squeaky wheels. That's what it comes down to. Mr. Thomas, in this case, wants to keep Ms. Cluff out of town council meetings so that she can't hold the individuals in that proceeding accountable. And he's using this court in an effort to do that, which is inappropriate. She has not broken any laws. She has not trespassed on anybody's private property. She is a citizen in a public place exercising her right to free speech. And she has a legitimate reason to do so, to hold the politicians of Dewey-Humboldt accountable to things that they testified to. She has testified truthfully. Her statements have been corroborated. She's never denied that she was in those locations, but it wasn't for any purpose other than to support her concern for the town of Dewey-Humboldt. We would submit to the court that Mr. Thomas absolutely has failed to meet his burden to show that it's harassing behavior and that he was harassed, and that even if he was alarmed, harassed, or annoyed, that it didn't serve a legitimate purpose. We would ask the court to allow Ms. Cluff to be engaged in these activities, to attend town council, and to dismiss the injunction. If the court's not inclined to dismiss the injunction outright as to Mr. Thomas, we would ask that it be modified to allow her to attend and take off any requirement for length of feet, because that becomes a very difficult element to enforce. We would ask
that's up to the sheriff's department.
And I understand.
They're used to that in my orders, just so you know.
We would ask, if the court were inclined to keep this in place, that she be ordered not to speak directly to or communicate directly with Mr. Thomas, and that she not go to his home. That's what we would ask. If the court finds that in fact, the burden has been met and that this did not serve a legitimate purpose.
Thank you. Okay. So here's where we're going on this. I've listened to the testimony, and for those of you who are unused to being in courts, when there's verbal testimony as evidence, the judge's big job in life is to weigh the testimony, weigh the credibility, weigh the plausibility of people's testimony, which is what I've done today listening to this evidence and looking at pictures. including, of course, but not limited to, Ms. Cluff's testimony as to why she was in the neighborhood and why she was taking pictures in front of Town Hall. And the totality of the circumstances is, as far as I'm concerned, and again, let me back up. I've been doing this for coming up on 12 years. Injunctions against harassment are nothing new to this court. I've seen them where gunfire and poisoned horses and poisoned dogs, and it just keeps escalating and escalating. And so I'm sensitive to that potential escalation. And I've seen and heard testimony like Mr. Cluff's repeatedly over the years that taking pictures of somebody is considered to be, by the subject of those pictures, harassment. Taking a picture across the neighbor's yard, taking a picture while they're in Safeway, and on and on and on. And I have seen the sheriff's office cite people criminally to get people to stop taking pictures of other people because it's considered harassment. Now, I can't tell the sheriff's department what to do, and they can't tell me what to do. But the sheriff's department does that. I've seen harassment cases here, which are a class 1 misdemeanor, punishable by 6 months in jail, up to 6 months in jail, just for constantly taking pictures of somebody else as a form of harassment. Mr. Cluff has testified that he's been alarmed by this.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Thomas, thank you. So, when I asked you, Ms. Cluff, why you were in the neighborhood to take pictures, is because, and I'm paraphrasing, Mr. Thomas had trash talked the town. I don't see any connection between you going slowly around his neighborhood taking pictures and him trash talking the town. So here's what we're going to do with this order. I agree with you, Mrs. Chapman, that, and because, let me back up a notch again, I was unaware of who the players were here in terms of recalls and city council members or not city council members when Mr. Thomas was here the first time. That's why we have these hearings, so the judge can get both sides of the coin. So I'm going to keep the 100 foot in place, but I'm going to modify the 100 feet to read as follows: except for at city or town council. Sorry about that. Town 100 feet except for town council meetings within the town hall, so that you could go to the town hall meetings. Okay. Because I mean, you've been doing this for years as a quote unquote fact checker, and I don't get in the way of that. But I am going to restrict you to not taking video or still photos of the protected party or location. You've got no business in the neighborhood taking pictures that I can see. And when you answered my question as to why you were in the neighborhood, it wasn't very plausible. So that's my order, and I'm going to leave it in place with those modifications.
And are we going to take the spouse and the daughter off?
Yes. We will remove your daughter, your wife. However, if you go around taking pictures of the daughter and the wife, and he comes in there and asks for an injunction, you know where I'm going already?
Never taken
Okay.
pictures of his daughter.
Well, you took pictures of the house, and that is, I find disturbing.
No, I took
And
pictures
these
of the
things-
scrub oak.
These, well, you can take pictures of scrub oak anywhere in Dewey-Humboldt until you're blue in the face, your camera's full, and your computer's full. That's just not plausible excuse to me. Okay, so I'm gonna take them off. I'm gonna go to the notification. It's getting late. The counsel for the plaintiff object to if we modify this order tomorrow morning and then email it to you.
Your Honor, so are you suggesting a proposed order goes out and council comment on it?
No.
Or no? You're
No.
going to issue it?
Yeah, but I'd rather not have Tammy and the security guard and everybody here, so it's gonna take us 20 minutes to modify the order. It's
That's
just
fine with me.
a process.
Fine with
And
The
Ms.
way the AOC
Ms.
set up
Coughlin,
the.
she'll waive service too, I mean,
Okay.
she can. I just want to clarify though for my client, is she permitted to go to town hall even if
Yes,
Mr.
but
Thomas
not-
is there?
Yes, but not until she's gonna have to do maneuvering. And you're not the play bulldozer. You're gonna have to do some maneuvering because while he's outside the building, you stay away. When he goes into the building, you can go into the building. When he goes out, you gotta be 100 feet away instantly. Do you understand that? I don't want you taking pictures of people.
But not at the town meetings, correct?
You can take pictures.
I'm not
with it in-
pictures. I mean, I can be in the town meetings.
Yeah, and I don't know that I can prevent you, and I'm not trying to prevent you from taking pictures of a public meeting.
I think her concern is that at a public meeting, she would be within 100 feet of Mr.
Yes,
Thomas.
and I realize
Okay.
that. Within the building, taking pictures of a public meeting, I can't, I mean, people call zoning and CPS and sheriff's department all the time. I can't get in the way of it, and don't get in the way of the public organization. If they're up to here with it, we can take care of it. Okay, does anybody have questions? I don't do this very often, does anybody have any questions? Go ahead.
I would like to know, after our town council meetings, many times, we meet out on the porch and talk to citizens or, whatever. We cannot break the open meeting law with 4 council members at once, but citizens have come up with talks. What if Mr. Thomas is outside talking to citizens, and what if Ms. Cluff and I are outside talking
She
to citizens?
can't come, Ms. Cluff can't come within 100 feet of Mr. Thomas. You can, but Mrs. Cluff.
No, but I mean, if she was out there talking to me first, and then he came out to talk to citizens,
I think he's got a right to,
do we have to move 100 feet away, or?
I'm not good on parse words, either.
Okay,
I'm just not.
I just want clarification, sir.
I understand, but then can she park herself out on the patio or porch or boardwalk, whatever it's called? No, she's outside the building, she's got to maintain 100 feet. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay, anybody else? Yes,
My apologies, Your Honor, I know it's late. So I know this is injunctions for him. However, as you saw, there was pictures taken of me, taking pictures of the other candidates. Should I just expect to come back here if I find pictures taken yet again of myself in here to seek an injunction?
that would be your prerogative.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
All right, let's do this. Can we be civil out in the parking lot?
Okay.
Because as a security guard, as an officer of the law, I mean, he can perform an arrest on court property. He's not a rental cop, just so you know.
I don't think we're gonna have any issues with any of the witnesses that
And
are here.
everybody can leave together, but don't fuss with that guy. All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I'll play that. Oh, that's nice.
Thank you. Chapter 7, yep.
Sir?
Thank you. In even the, oh, yeah. All right, Mr. Coughlin. Nice meeting you. Enjoyable day in Mayor Justice Court with you. Yeah, you're allowed to talk to me more now. Except for Mr. Thomas. What area do you typically practice in, Mr. Hall? Civil? PC?
So,
Yeah. And you've got an office down in Preston?
I do.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Thank you. All right, I don't think that the clerk's coming back in here, but I'll just confirm with her. We have to get you to go accept service on your behalf. I think he has to modify it because what they would serve you with is the actual injunction. I know that's not the result, but he just told him he can't be the board and use that in the way that I think he wanted to. So it wasn't a complete 1 years. I know. So,
Do you want this, or you want me to keep it?
you can keep it. You guys, it's in and out of it.
I would agree with the judge on taking photographs in class and not doing anything to do with the photograph. And you weren't taking multiple photographs. She took her, he didn't say anything about taking pictures of you.
Well, that's because he was doing it, he was doing it to refute or to document because of his concern that you were doing it first. So, but if he continues, then you have the right to give an injunction as well. I'll go back and listen to that video. For the June 4 one, I'll go back and listen to it.
Yeah, because my husband wants to.
Yeah,
Because that's criticizing, so it's not true.
well, so there's 2 different levels, and let me look at it before I say yes or no. And let them clear for a second, give them all a chance to, they'll be out there powwowing. Touch base with Ron. I feel bad I didn't call him, but the day was getting long, and he wasn't gonna add much to what he was just gonna basically say about Thomas.
I think you really got tipped on your time of testimony because, I mean, he was saying, let's get this wrapped up, let's get this wrapped up.
Are we doing anything with Ms. Cluff today, or does she need to come back tomorrow, or are you guys gonna email it, or how are you gonna do because we have to get it served. We'll waive service, but I don't think we actually can waive service. That's the problem.
she would have to be,
Come back here to accept service.
yeah, we have a paper, I don't know, let me check it.
Check it.
Maybe
Are you able to come back down tomorrow, Lee? Here?
If it's 9 o'clock in the morning, but after that, no, I have doctor appointments. Okay. I'm gonna check something out.
Okay.
Okay, give me just a minute.
Sorry to keep you.
All right.
I fast-tracked as quickly as we could.
Yes, you did very well.
No worries, it happens every now and again.
It's over at a minimum. I hope you feel a little bit better and have the parameters. I know that, like I said,
What?
How is, I need the chair to get in and out.
no, it just means don't move them to like all together.
I'm not worried. I'm sad. Because he said, I'm going to move faster.
What did you say?
And my testimony was that mine and just gave it.
Oh, I know they are.
Well,
I don't know if you got my email last night that I sent you after the meeting.
yeah, I did. I mean, again, he was cutting me off.
I know.
No,
And I don't think
Now
that.
they are coming out.
Or more.
So more than that.
Oh, yeah, it
Started
was
till
way
like
out.
4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
It was, actually, it was 4:45 because I remember thinking, it was going to be here.
So,
But I just,
So you're not appealing.
you could, but you can.
does it go to a different court?
Yeah, it goes to a different court. This judge didn't say, so in appeal, the judge has a ton of discretion. And they are the ones sitting in here hearing it all. seeing you in person, and assessing credibility. And so their discretion is relied on heavily. And if this judge in his discretion says, I had enough, and I find that this is harassing. Now, if he said, you know,
Did I say something wrong or explain?
no,
Why it's-
again, he's like, well, there's no legitimate purpose.
That's his answer,
Yeah, I
You see the politics.
know, and he does too. I mean, and I think he was very fair with saying, this isn't gonna be about politics, as much as everybody wanted it to be about politics. And I threw that in at the end, listen, this is a political stunt because they don't want her to be a squeaky wheel. I mean, I said that out point blank, so that everybody else, it wasn't only for him, it was for everybody else to hear that, listen, this isn't gonna shut her up. You might not talk to, no, the other thing is don't send something to him indirectly, right? You can't have any contact. I know you haven't. I know you never, but the point is so be cautious, but it's not going to stop you from doing what you do to assist the town in gaining the facts and the truth of situations. It really isn't.
But if I take a picture because he stopped gaining the audio from her. Remember what he did at West Road and all that?
Again, I think that, you know, you have to be, then your husband, your husband take a picture. If they're saying, okay, over here, I mean, again, you can't take the picture, for sure. But it doesn't mean that he gets to bully you. This judge is not going to stand for that.
Okay, so do you have an email address?
I do.
Okay.
It's on my pleadings, if you want to
Okay.
just email it to me.
Yeah, we'll email it and you can sign acceptance of service and give
That'll
it.
be sufficient.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll do it the other part.
Right.
Okay, and then
Yep.
we'll get that done in the morning.
Do you guys have garbage in here?
Somewhere.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
All right.
Want me to carry some stuff?
Girls, I brought my girls up because I told you my in-laws live up here. 13 and 11.
Wow.
And-
Everyone old enough to have.
Oh my goodness, I had 14 and 10-year-olds too, I had 4.
Girls?
2 to 2.
Oh,
I got
wow.
bookend boys and girls in the middle. 3 teenagers at home. Which is
So
when I spend all day in court.
Right?
Have a good one. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you so much. You too.